The concept of possession in French works differently than in English, having possessive adjectives and pronouns. Possessive adjectives in French agree with the thing possessed, not with the possessor, which is different in English. While it's possible to use my, your, his, her, our, and their in English, French does have these adjectives, but they must agree with gender and number, depending on the object being possessed, having three forms: masculine singular, feminine singular, and plural. By looking at this chart, we can see how all possessive adjectives are affected by the thing being possessed, and they change depending on person, gender, and number. Masculine singular adjectives are nous, tu, son, notre, votre, leur, and they apply to any masculine singular noun. Feminine singular adjectives are ma, ta, sa, notre, votre, leur, and they apply to any feminine singular noun. We can also see that some adjectives are the same for both genders, so they're simply borrowed, and the gender of the possessed thing will tell the difference. Plural adjectives apply to any plural noun, regardless of gender, and these are me, te, se, ne, ve, leur. Overall, this is what possessive adjectives look like in French, and they agree with the gender and number of the noun owned, not the owner. Let's have some examples. Mon frère est gentil. Ma sœur chante bien. Mes amis sont ici. Ton chien en aboie. Ta maison est grande. Tes livres sont intéressants. Son père travaillait à Paris. Sa mère cuisine bien. Ses enfants jouent dehors. Now, we can see plural examples. Notre école est moderne. Nos professeurs sont stricts. Votre idée est brillante. Vos projets avancent vite. Leur voiture est bleue. Leurs maisons sont grandes. As a note, there is an exception with feminine nouns that start with a vowel or silent ash. When using such feminine nouns, French switches to masculine singular adjectives so that two vowel sounds won't collide, like mon ami, ton ami, son ami, my, your, his, or her female friend. Technically, feminine singular adjectives should be used, but French uses the masculine ones to avoid having two vowel sounds. Now, let's see possessive pronouns in French, which replace nouns with possessive adjectives like saying mine instead of my book. In English, possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, ours, and theirs. But French possessive pronouns have subtleties that are completely different from English, and it's important to know them before I present the pronouns. 1. French possessive pronouns are always preceded by a definite article, like le, la, les. 2. Such pronouns also agree with the thing possessed, and not the owner. And 3. Some pronouns will have the same form as adjectives, and to distinguish the difference, French adds circumflex accents on certain vowels, specifically in notre and votre. Now that I've covered these ideas, let's see the pronouns. We can see how all possessive pronouns are affected by the thing being possessed, and they change depending on person, gender, and number. Masculine singular pronouns are le mien, le tien, le sien, le nôtre, le vôtre, le leur. All of these are masculine because of the masculine definite article that goes before them. Feminine singular pronouns are la mienne, la tienne, la sienne, la nôtre, la vôtre, la leur. They're all feminine because of the feminine definite article that precedes them. Masculine plural pronouns are les miens, les tiens, les siens, les nôtres, les vôtres, les leurs. They're all masculine and plural because of the article and the letter is that's added to every word. As a note, it's important to tell the difference in pronunciation between the masculine singular and the masculine plural. While they may sound the same when said, their difference is in the pronunciation of their articles. Le is pronounced with a more rounded sound, while les is pronounced more basically. Le mien, les miens, le mien, les miens. That's how we can tell the quantity they refer to. At last, feminine plural pronouns are les miennes, les tiennes, les siennes, les nôtres, les vôtres, les leurs. And in this case, the pronunciation of the plural articles will likewise tell the difference from the feminine singular pronouns. La mienne, les miennes, la mienne, les miennes. Additionally, the pronouns for the masculine plural and feminine plural are the same, so their difference in context will show, depending on the gender of the thing being owned. Overall, this is what possessive pronouns look like in French, agreeing with the gender and number of the noun owned. Let's have some examples with every pronoun. Ce livre est le mien. Cette maison est la mienne. Ses amis sont les miens. Ces photos sont les miennes. Le chien est le tien. La voiture est la tienne. Les stylos sont les tiens. Les robes sont les tiennes. Le sac est le sien. La clé est la sienne. Les cousins sont les siens. Les sœurs sont les siennes. Le problème est le nôtre. La victoire est la nôtre. Les infos sont les nôtres. Le choix est le vôtre. Les livres sont les vôtres. Le travail est le leur. La décision est la leur. Les idées sont les leurs. Before concluding the lesson, some refinements should be known about French possessives, like the ambiguity of son, sa, si. When using this adjective, it can mean his or her, depending on context, like elle aime son frère. She loves her brother, not his brother. At times, you might find special expressions with possessives, like body parts, where French prefers to use definite articles instead of possessives, like I wash my hands. Je me lave les mains. The phrase literally means I wash the hands, because the reflexive pronoun me already shows whose body it is, but reflexives are a topic for a future video. It's also important to know that tu, ta, te should be used for informal people, like one person, and that votre, vous may be formal to one person you're addressing politely, or plural to a group, like you all. At last, it's possible to use possessive pronouns for emphatic purposes, like saying, c'est à moi, it's mine, c'est le mien, it's mine, but more specific. The same can be said about idiomatic uses, like faire de son mieux, to do one's best, perdre son temps, to waste one's time. All of these are stylistic and advanced uses of French possessives.